So can we just go back there for a minute, Killian? You were talking about provenance. Could you just talk to me a little bit more about that? What do you mean by that?
Sure. So the Irish oak that is native to Ireland grows in other countries as well.
Okay.
It grows in England, and when it grows there, it's locally known as the English oak, and when it grows in France, it's locally known as the French oak. We have done studies on the estate here to show that when you have native provenance, when the parent seed is local, is from Ireland, that the tree is adapted to local conditions and therefore grows better. What we have found is that for the future there's an opportunity to insist on native provenance. Because it grows better, you get a better commercial return from your crop if you're growing better quality trees, and if you have a higher survival rate, which you do if you plant native provenance trees, not just native trees. Therefore, the opportunity and the vision for the future is to move native provenance as a central tenet of where we need to go. You also have a knock-on benefit of creating jobs in the nursery sector. Of the 8 or 9 large nurseries we were dealing with last year as part of a project we were doing, 4 of them have told me they're closing within the next 3 months. So there are jobs going, and all the knock-on spending in the local economy where they're situated that goes with it. If those nurseries knew that there was going to be a demand for native provenance, they could be out there, entrepreneurs can be out there collecting seed, growing on trees from seed, having a native stock of trees that would grow better rather than importing them. At the moment, if you're a landowner and you want to plant native trees, and the 30% that we talked about of the afforestation program that was native species, we don't know how many, but a lot of those were imported. It says provenance unknown.
The native tree, in fact, is imported.
A lot of them from Holland, yeah.
Okay.
So they're not truly native species.
Okay.
And so they're imported, they're planted, and they don't grow very well. And it perpetuates the myth that this is not a commercially viable option.
Yeah.
They say, well, we planted those oak, but they didn't do very well.
Yeah.
If you
Even
planted
though
native
that oak may have
provenance,
come from Holland, as you're saying.
Exactly.
It wasn't a tree that had grown in Dunmanway.
Exactly.
Or near to where you planted it.
And all the evidence shows that the provenance is critical. If you have native provenance, you get an exceptionally faster growth rate, better survival rate, and you also have the commercial benefits of the suppliers being local and supporting, and by local I mean nationally local. So there's a huge opportunity there to move us away from these monocultures by using the shelter well system as one example of a stepping stone of starting to turn this ship. There's also, let's create jobs by insisting on native provenance, so that when we plant native trees they grow properly and we get a true reflection of what they can actually achieve.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is by economically doing the right thing, environmentally doing the right thing, everyone kind of benefits to an extent, and you can have these kind of small local industries maybe sprouting up, for want of a better expression, growing the native seeds and passing them on. So that it seems like a nice closed kind of a loop system, sustainable, for want of a better word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Economically as well as environmentally.
Economically,
yeah.
And I mean the driver on this doesn't have to be the environment in inverted commas. The driver can be economics.
Yeah, and the environment is a beneficiary then as well from it. Like.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of time I think what people will say is, yeah, it's all very well nice. It's lovely to have trees. We'd all love to have trees. We'd all love to have expansive forests, but you can't eat a forest. And the economic argument, but from what you're saying, is actually you can do all those things, and the economic box is ticked very much so as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. I mean, you can't eat a forest, although you could argue with that, but you can sleep on a forest, as in your bed is made of wood. You can build your house out of a forest.
Yeah.
You can heat your home out of a forest. We'll always need food. We'll always need energy, and we can provide those through forestry. Yeah. If you took away all of the timber products in your immediate surroundings at any given moment, a lot would
Yeah.
disappear.
They're so prevalent, they're invisible.
They're invisible.
Yeah.
The floor would be gone, the ceiling would be gone.
Your shelf unit there would be
Yeah,
gone.
you'd fall on the ground because
Yeah.
your chair would be gone. There'd be no desk, the cups would be on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, we're dependent on it, and
Yeah.
it's part of us. People say to me, trees aren't relevant, forestry isn't relevant to my busy, stressful life.
Yeah. Look around you.
Look around you,
Yeah.
you know.
Just one point, maybe final point is there's a lot of talk about global warming and carbon, taking carbon. I mean, the trees surely would function as a good way of taking carbon out of the air as well, and kind of take our obligations to Kyoto and all that as well.
They do, and they have a role in that, and they're actually measured nationally having a role in that. The important thing there is that to reduce the risk, again, if you have a monoculture of any species and you're using them as your carbon storage, if they're vulnerable to be wiped out by a single disease, then that's problematic.
Okay.
And so you're spreading your risk
Spreading the risk, yeah.
by mixing
Yeah.
your species.